Special Issues Committee, starting at 5:04. Ms. Smith?
Here.
Ms. Gear? Counselor Almond? Counselor Sims?
Here.
And Counselor Andress?
She's here. She's talking
I
to
think
me.
you have a quorum.
Yes.
I think everybody's here.
Yes, they are. Okay. The minutes should be over at your seats. So if I could get a motion to approve the minutes as presented from our last
Second.
meeting. Thank you. Motion for Mr. Almond, second for Mr. Sims. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, 5-0. Those are approved. Okay. I wasn't planning on talking about 17-10-15 tonight, but I do want to give a brief update on the spill that happened last week. I have been talking to David Butler from Cahaba River Keepers over the weekend. He was updating me, and he just wanted to be sure. And so what happened was it was a spill that happened because of a project that was happening at Barber's that they had actually let us know in advance that was happening, had given us advance warning that they were going to be doing this work, that there might be odors. They were processing some sort of chemical substance out of their plant, which they do normally, but they didn't realize there was some sort of breach in the pipe. And they weren't aware of it until it actually started happening and leaked into the creek. So the Barbers immediately notified ADM, who came out to the site, and on the recommendation of River Keepers, they immediately called vacuum trucks to start sucking out the chemicals as fast as they could. So they did all of that, and they literally, y'all, the plant manager was just beside himself. He was really, really upset. And they went back out the next day to see if they could assess further impacts, because that afternoon it rained so hard that a lot of the substance dispersed on its own just because the rain was washing it on down the creek. But they are going to continue to monitor the impacts, and they have agreed to meet with Cahaba River Keepers following the end of this project so that they can, get through that and make sure there's nothing else that happens. And then they're going to talk to them about, going into the future about how to avoid these kind of things. So I just wanted to let people know that was they were the ones who initiated ADM coming out, not Cahaba River Keepers and not us. It was the company. So we'll just have to continue to monitor that, but I did want to give people an update that David had given me as of Sunday. So we'll carry that one over, and we will continue to, I'll continue to keep y'all posted if I hear anything new on that. 150820, request for consideration of a memorial donation policy. I know that I said we were going to talk about that tonight, but I have somewhere to go, so we're going to talk about that the next meeting. So continue to look at that, make any comments, bring any comments. I promise we're going to actually talk about it at our next meeting. So I'm going to carry that over without objection. And then our one new item is 040921, public hearing set for September 27th, 2021 at 6 p.m. for consideration of a variance to the tree ordinance to cut 7 protected trees, at 157 Lucerne Boulevard. Mr. Cook.
Yes, we had a tree service submit an application to cut 7 protected trees. A protected tree in the city is 14-inch diameter breast height or larger. We didn't approve the permit and it was sent to our arborist, our tree arborist, and he has worked out a tree plan for them. I don't have it with me. Maybe the homeowner's here, I'm not sure, to where once these trees are cut, if they follow the recommendation of our arborist, that they will be in compliance with the minimum density requirements for that lot. So if Mr. and Mrs. Westerfield are here, Westerland.
And can I ask, I know we always say, is the tree dead? Is the tree
Right.
threatening some property, or what's the reason for needing the trees cut? Yeah, come on up. Come on up.
I have one tree. Can I get, I got this.
And there's a sign-in sheet too, and a pen if he'd sign in.
If you can find something in right there, there should be a sheet right there on the podium.
have an extra one for the record?
My wife made this. So the back of my property, you'll see a guest house in the back. There's a tree right beside it, that red X. It's causing my foundation in that guest house to, with the issues there. It's a scraggly, ugly tree.
Okay.
Then you come up on the same side, you'll see the next X closest to that. What kind of tree is that? Did you look at that tree?
No,
Oh, okay.
Arborist did.
Arborist. So I think it's some kind of it's not a pecan, I can't remember what it is, but
There is a pecan.
yeah, it's pecan, okay.
Okay.
So it comes up so far and then it branches into 3 branches. It doesn't have a good base to it. And I'm afraid it's gonna fall over on my neighbor's garage. It's right beside us.
Okay.
And then I have a really nice magnolia, and you'll see those 2 trees, they're coming up right between the nodes. They're monster pine trees. Root systems coming up, it's gonna bust up the dry sidewalk going down to the little house in the back.
Okay.
So I wanted to take them down, and then I have 3 right here that are monsters. They come near the power lines, and they're huge.
They're all pines?
Pines.
Pines.
And they have the root balls, coming up out of the ground, so I can't really grow grass very well there.
Right.
So we wanted to take them down, and we were gonna go back with more trees, actually more trees than we have, more trees than we're taking down.
All right, so are the green pluses, that's where y'all are adding trees?
Trees back
Okay.
there. And then you see the ones to the front. We had 4 big pines y'all improved in the front yard that were just destroying my roof.
Right.
You couldn't even see the house. They were monsters.
Okay.
And so we got those down. And then we're gonna put all the other trees. And then on the side, that man's got a pool going in to the side of the house, and we're putting in those trees on the side, some crepe myrtles. So we're
Kind of
really,
as a shield.
right, we're leaving it a lot nicer than what we had.
Okay, and we're on Lucerne, because Lucerne's so weird, because it circles all the way around.
157 would be the,
Near Rockaway.
Rockaway.
Oh, right there by Rockaway. Okay, gotcha. Okay,
Yep.
got it. All
Can
right,
I-
does anybody have any other, Jennifer, do you have a
I was
question?
going to ask a question. Did you say that you have spoken with Bram, our arborist? He has been involved in this,
Yeah,
and
a couple times he's been over. He
Okay.
came back a few times.
we've got his blessing on this?
Yes, he suggested some river birch or something. And
Right, and we
all
went.
in the front yard.
We've
Yeah,
been
there's-
looking at trees from y'all's list on the internet, so I've looked at every tree known to man, so.
Yeah. And I think it says, according to this, it looks like there's 3 river birches going in on the front.
Right,
Yeah.
there and there.
But you're leaving 1 dogwood, a holly, and the magnolia tree in
Correct.
the back. Okay.
The holly tree is huge. This
Okay.
thing's huge.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? And this is scheduled for a public hearing, so the proper motion would be to send it out without recommendation, but we'll have that public hearing
Okay.
Monday.
Okay.
So moved.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Motion from Mr. Alamon to send it out without recommendation pending the public hearing Monday night.
Second.
Second from Ms. Andrus. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that is 5-0 to send that out, so that will be Monday night at 6 o'clock. Same.
I don't need
same-
to be here though, do I?
You can if you want, you don't have to, but definitely, whatever information you have that, I'll keep this, but, yeah, if there's
Will
anything
somebody
else.
notify me or?
Yeah, I was about to say, this is pretty
No, I'm
much your
talking about
notification.
If it's approved, notify me.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Scott will notify you.
I will say this too, if it's a public hearing, if anyone shows up and has questions and you're not here,
So
I mean,
6 o'clock?
that could.
It's at 6
cau-
o'clock, yes.
Cause an issue for it to be continued.
Yeah, because we do, when Alex does a public hearing, he allows Mr. Cook and whoever is making the petition to come up and speak to it.
Okay.
But then he always asks, if somebody disagrees with it or has problems, so if somebody did speak up in,
Okay.
Opposition, it
I'll-
might be
I'll
good to
come back.
be here. Okay,
Thank you.
all right, thank you so much. All right.
Counselor Smith.
Yes.
On a separate item before we adjourn, I just
Yes.
want to quickly take, maybe 23-10-20 off the table and
Oh.
just talk about it real quick.
Okay, all right, yes, so can we get a motion to take that, are you making a motion to
I'm
take that off?
making a
the-
motion to take it
Okay,
off the table.
motion, second from Mr. Almond, all right, motion to take 23-10-20 off the table. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all right, 5-0 off the table, all right.
Thank you so much. So I just wanted to reference the survey that's been public for a while, and it's currently still active and electronic, and also we have paper copies of the survey at several locations. So Abby McKibben, who's a Sanford intern, has been helping with that. But we were looking to maybe close that at the end of the month, tabulate results, and report back at maybe the next committee meeting.
Okay, all right. We need to maybe make some sort of announcement on the website about that, maybe closing out by, what do you think, end of this month, on the September 30th?
That sounds good. I know Brian has the link still active on the website,
Right.
and also has made a social media post relatively recently to kind of, get a last push.
Okay.
So if we determine a closing date, then we can close it out and report back.
All right, okay, so do you think September 30th, is that a valid?
That sounds
Date?
great to me.
Okay, all right, so, Brian, could we put that on the website, that the, via transit study will be the survey will be closing on the 30th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Quick,
All right.
Quick question.
Sure, yes.
Where are the paper copies? Are they in?
The paper copies are the Lee
library.
Center, the Senior Center,
The library, I think.
library,
Yeah.
and the rec center.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've seen them at the rec center, for sure.
Thank you.
All right.
So are we gonna carry this over as old business then?
Huh?
Since off the table, we're gonna push it back up to old business?
Yes, it moved up to old business, but I guess,
Just carry it over as old business?
yeah, I guess we'll just carry it over, and then on when we have the meeting to discuss the results, then we can drop it at that time.
That
Yeah.
sounds good, thanks.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we'll carry that one over on old business, and we'll wait for those results after the survey closes. All right, does anybody else have anything? All right, well, in that case, we will be adjourned.